Hello again, beautiful ladies. So today's video topic, and the reason I wanted to do a Facebook Live today, is to talk about one of the most important aspects of getting the man and the relationship we want, and that is dating. Okay, dating. Yes, so important to date. I know it's one of your favorite topics, dating, right? I know you just love hearing that word, dating. Actually, no. A lot of women, when I mention dating, their face kind of, contorts into this painful expression. And a lot of you really don't like dating. You really cringe at the idea of dating. I found that interesting because I would say when I was dating, I mostly had a lot of fun dating. I've had a lot of fun. Now, I had periods where I was frustrated, for sure. I was frustrated with it. But I know for sure, too, when I was frustrated with dating, that was mostly to do with me not being happy with myself, with my life, with just feeling lonely and wanting a man to come in and fix everything for me. And it just wasn't happening fast enough. And that was why I was frustrated. So if you are frustrated with dating, it's probably because, it could be one of the reasons is you're not really happy with yourself or your life, okay? And you're hoping a man would come in and fix that for you. So before I get into the main points of this video and talk a bit about why it's not fun for you and how we can really change that around, I want to tell you that if you're serious about getting that man and the relationship you want, you may want to consider applying for coaching with me. If you're interested in that and getting some real personalized advice and someone to really handhold you through the process of getting that man and the love you want, check out katiecoach.com and I'm happy to help you. So let's get back to the subject, dating, okay? One of the biggest reasons women don't like dating is because I see time and time again, they put too much pressure on themselves, okay? So what their thinking process is like, oh, I have to go out there, I have to be in these awkward situations with men, I have to make awkward conversations, then I'm stressing and worrying about what he thinks of me, whether he likes me, whether he'll call me again, and then I'm over analyzing what he's doing, what he's thinking, what his behavior means, and basically, jumping forward 5 steps down the road, and putting all this pressure on themselves and the interaction with the man, and just stressing themselves out, okay, unnecessarily. So this may be you, and there was a time in my life where this was definitely me. I was looking at every man out there like he could be a potential person I could end up with. That's pressure. If you go up to a guy thinking he could be the one, you're going to, be stressed when you have that conversation. You're going to be overthinking everything. You're going to be worrying about, should I say this? Should I say that? And you lose the magic of just simply being in the moment. So that's where all the stress comes from with dating. And when people say, look, I never used to have to date, right? I just fall into these relationships. And there are certainly times in our life where, due to the circumstance, mostly because we're in school or we're going to university and we're surrounded by lots and lots of men, lots of single men, it is really easy to become friends with them and for one of those friendships to develop into more. And we almost don't really have to think about it. But once you're past a certain age, let's say 30s, once you're past your 30s and 40s, that opportunity is no longer there for us, okay? We're no longer surrounded by lots and lots of single men just by showing up at a school, right? Or showing up to work. Now, the chances of going into a public space and that man being taken or married is very, very high and very, very likely. So there is that added pressure of, now women are saying to me, well, I can't approach him because I don't know if he's taken or not. I don't know if he's single, right? That means even more pressure. They're overthinking everything because of all the rules and the criterias now that are out there, what is right, what is wrong. So really you need to drop that, okay? How I think about dating is very, very simple. Dating to me is simply a series of conversations with one or multiple men. That is it, a series of conversations. I don't put any more onto that one exchange. That's it. So, first tip, don't put pressure on yourself. Don't put all of this unnecessary pressure and make dating into this terrible, anxious-ridden thing, okay? Number 2, stop judging. A lot of you are also really, really judging yourself when you're dating because you say, none of my friends had to do online dating to find their partners. Only losers do online dating. Only, losers approach a man first. A man's meant to approach me first. You have all these rules of how it should go, all of these rules getting in the way of that simple exchange, that simple conversation that you want to have with that man. So stop judging yourself, okay? It is just a conversation. It's not you going in there to get married or to get into a relationship even. It's just a conversation. That's it. You can back out any moment of that conversation, okay? And number 3, make it fun for yourself. First of all, if you have all this pressure around dating, surrounding that situation, there's no way there's going to be any fun. You're not in the headspace to have fun. So if you remove all that pressure and you stop judging yourself, now what are you going to do? How are you going to make that interaction enjoyable? Well, you got to make it fun. Okay, don't expect a man to bring the fun. Don't expect him to be entertaining all the time. You also have to be entertaining too, but not for him, but for yourself. Okay, and then I think maybe this is a bit of a big misconception women have. They think that they have to entertain the man. They have to do all these things to impress him. No, you don't. But you do have to entertain yourself. Okay, make it fun for yourself. When I was single and dating, what I would do was when I had a lot of time at the end of the night and I was bored, I was lonely, my inbox was kind of getting low on messages, no man was messaging me. What I would do is I would go on the online dating site. I would browse through all the men's profiles, and I would just look at them and entertain myself in that way. So I would look at this man and be like, and I would just in my head be like, he's probably a player. This guy's probably a tradie. This guy is maybe really full of himself. Just like kind of making comments to myself about these profiles that I was looking at, but in a way to amuse myself, okay? It had to feel fun for me. There's some guys who they would post pictures of themselves with their shirt off, with their buff muscles, and they take their selfies, right? Some of them covered with cat tattoos. I would just snicker to myself and admire their body, but I wouldn't message them because their description had nothing in it. So that was my other criteria. Not only did the guy have to have a good picture, he had to have a good description. He had to be able to form an intelligent sentence, right? An intelligent paragraph, let's just say. And then I would look at all of the other profiles, and here's my simple criteria. I'd look at the picture. As long as his photo didn't make me want to vomit, and he had a good description, then I would try to send him a message. And I would make sure all my messages, my opening message would all be different. So I would read their description, find something that was interesting in his description, and then make a comment or ask a question about that, but always in a way that was entertaining to me. So whenever I was reading men's descriptions, I would ask myself, does this make me smile? Does this make me laugh? Does this make me intrigued? Does this make me interested in what he's saying? Does this make me question a belief of mine? Basically, is this interesting to me? Okay, it has to be interesting to me that I would want to reach out to this person. And then I would, okay, and then I'll go through and I would message, let's say 10 men, and I would do it really quickly, only just to amuse myself. So I wouldn't care how the message came across. I wouldn't care if I sounded rude or whatever, right? So for example, if a man said in his profile, I like to eat sandwiches in bed, he made a comment about that, I would send him a message and say, yuck, you like to eat sandwiches in bed? That's gross. Don't you like attract cockroaches, you know? Now, I wouldn't care, right? I wouldn't care how he reacted to that. That was purely for my amusement, right? And then I would send that and I would forget about it. And I would do that like 10 times. And then, or I'd do that until I got bored, and then I would turn it off and do something else. And then the next time I would log in to the online dating site, I'd get all these responses, right? And I feel like, oh, like all these guys want my attention. So I'd go through and read them. And now this is the second screening process. So now I would check their messages, and I would check, is their message interesting? Does it make me smile? Does it make me laugh? Does it make me intrigued? Okay, go through the same thing. Did they put effort into their message? Okay, so I would screen them again, because if they're not interesting to me, they're boring, they give me a boring answer, I'm just not going to respond to them. Okay, next them immediately. Don't care, right? And then some men will answer rudely. Some men won't like the comment I made. I would also be like, oh well, next, okay? Because I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for me, right? My message to them was me entertaining myself. It has nothing to do with their answer or what they think. I don't really care about that, okay? And then the ones that would answer really well, or I like their response, then I would message them, okay? And that's how it would grow organically like that. So that's a great example of how I have fun every step of the way when I was dating. Now, interesting, and that leads me to like the last point, which is to allow things to develop as they would naturally develop. Okay, don't try to force things. Don't try to push things. Don't try to ask a man to take you out on a date if he hasn't initiated, if he doesn't want to. Okay, you don't have to do that, and really you shouldn't do that, right? Be patient. Be patient. Now, I want to share another interesting story with you. When I met my husband, I was incredibly busy. I was working full-time. I was studying full-time. I really didn't have any time to do anything else. No time to socialize either. Really, I was just my head was into work and study. And yet, I still had time, a couple of minutes, to log on to my online dating app. Okay, never gave up on that, because it was only literally a couple of minutes. So when I was falling asleep at night, I would just log on, scroll through, see if there were any interesting comments, messages, and then that was it, right? Very low investment. I didn't put too much into that, didn't have to put a lot into that. And then one of those nights, I checked my messages, and my husband's message came up, lit up. I looked at his profile, looked at his picture, looked at his description, thought, oh, he looks pretty good. Now this is different, this is new, this is like opening up it's like coming home with a present, right? So it was kind of a nice surprise. So I responded back in an equally intelligent way, okay? So I looked at his message and look how much he put into his message, and I responded in an equal way, right? He invested this much, I was going to give him back that much as well. And then I think in the beginning, he only messaged me once a week. But I didn't even notice, because I didn't really care if he messaged me once a week. I wasn't checking to see how often he messaged me, because I was so busy, I had no time to really think about that. And then eventually once a week turned into a couple of times a week, then it was every other day, and then it was every single day. Okay, so notice how it just developed very naturally like that, because I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't putting all that pressure on it. I was just going about my day, doing my stuff. And then he kept messaging me. I kept responding in a very friendly, enthusiastic way because I liked him. And then it just developed very naturally like that. Okay, so that's the story I wanted to share. And your love journey can develop very smoothly like that. And that's how you can allow your dating to be really fun and easy. Okay, don't put all this pressure on yourself. It is absolutely not necessary. And in fact, if you don't like dating, you're not doing it right. You're literally not doing it right. Okay, so just to recap, okay, don't put any pressure on yourself. Stop judging yourself. Okay, stop saying I have to do it this way, I can't do it that way, because that way is a loser way, right? Stop judging. Okay, dating is just a series of conversations with one man or multiple men. And I encourage you to talk to multiple men. Start multiple conversations. And third, make it fun for yourself. Make every step of the journey fun, and you do everything for you. Do everything because it's amusing and fun for you. And lastly, allow things to develop as they would naturally develop. Don't rush it. Don't push it. Be patient. Okay? And if you want to get deeper into some of these concepts that I'm talking about, and you're really serious about getting the man and the love that you want, you may want to apply for coaching with me. All you have to do is go to katiecoach.com, and then we can talk and make some magic happen, okay? So that is all from me, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good week, girls.